Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Today is week one. I'm sorry. Today is week 10, day one of my field placement. If you are new here, welcome. My name is India, and I am currently a BSW student. This page is going to be dedicated to the journey of social work with me. It's going to follow my grad school experience. It's going to go into licensure prep and all of that kind of stuff. And if you are not new here and you are one of the 12 people returning, hey, y'all, welcome back. So, anywho, y'all, I'm a little bit behind, so I'm going to make this intro super quick. It's kind of cold out here in Ohio, so I got on a little thermal black shirt. I got my vest on, which I'll probably take off when I get to the office. Some of those slacks I picked up from Walmart, and just my black boots. I am ready for today. As always, I'm going to be positive. Hopefully we have a little plan. If not, I'll let you guys know. I hope your day goes great. I hope your week goes great. And, as always, we start the day off with just asking God to protect us as we go out to school and work and field and cover our families. And we ask that no weapons formed against us shall prosper. Hopefully, fingers crossed, today is going to be a great productive day because, your girl loves some productivity. But again, I will keep you updated on my lunch break and then I'll recap at the end of the day. Peace. Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can tell, I am not at field. This is not my lunch break. Honestly, it is Thursday. I forgot to pick up the camera on Tuesday just because it was busy, which was a good thing. So no worries. I'm going to still recap. I'm going to go over everything that happened from my little brown chair here at home. And I'll tell you why I'm actually at home today. So anyway, Tuesday was wonderful. We went in, as always, I'm positive. I'm hopeful that something comes about. So that morning we just had like a little small task, which was like getting trunk or treat bags together. On Sunday, the Head Start is going to like do a thing in the parking lot and like they're going to like pass out candy or whatever. So anyway, again, that wasn't like the best task we could have done, but at least it was something. So we did that. The other intern, she had her site visit. So her field instructor from her school actually was coming in for them to do whatever they did. So I was like, oh, Lord, it really ain't going to be nothing for me to do. But the home visit started and they were able to be via Zoom, like one of them, and then two of them were just by phone call because the families didn't have the technology to do, a Zoom call or whatever. So right up my alley. So the whole rest of my day was legit like home visits. So the first one was very cool. The mom was kind of short initially, and I understand that. Like, we calling you in the middle of the day, even though this time was already like set up, sometimes they don't want to talk to us. So anyway, she was like, I'm in an appointment, can you guys call back? And so I was thinking like, oh, she ain't gonna answer when we call back. But actually she did. And she was much nicer and she was apologetic for double booking. But she said her daughter had been sick. And they were at the doctor's and she found out her daughter had an ear infection. So she was getting medicine and everything for that, which worked perfect because that was actually like an action item on the family service workers log, was to find out like why her daughter had missed 2 days of school. So anyway, that interaction went so well that I ended up using my lunch break to do my process recording assignment because I had a lot of dialogue with mom. Like, we looked at, before we called her, I did ask like the person I was working with to I was like, can we look at her goals and all the stuff that she has set forth for herself and her family already, just so I know a little bit about her when we actually call back, if she answers the phone. And I'm glad that I did that because when she answered, she was just very excited and telling us about how her daughter had been sad because she was missing her friends and she had missed the softball game and a soccer game, but that mom was making up for it because she had just signed her up for ballet and tap. And so I was just like, oh, I see here that your goal last year was to get your daughter more involved in the community sports and stuff. And I mean, it sounds like you not only met that goal, but you exceeded that goal. And she was like, oh, yeah, because she did T-ball and she did this and that and that and this. And mom was like very proud. You can hear the proudness in her voice. And it was like when I reminded her of her goal, I think she felt even more excited. And she's like, so that means I need a new goal. And so that was perfect because that was a part of the conversation too. And so her new goal was to be enrolled in school for herself by December. So the only two barriers that was in her way was finishing the financial aid, which, you know, that was simple. She said she just needed to complete the document, but it was more so about finding after school care because her daughter comes to us for Head Start, but obviously Head Start ends, you know, and you still need somewhere for your daughter to go. So she was saying those were her barriers. So we were able to like look at resources, provide her with some numbers to call. We said we would follow up with some things and like we would get back to her. So it felt really good to be a part of that. So I didn't even take a lunch. Like I didn't go eat. I didn't sit in my car. I used that dialogue to do my process recording. And for those of you that have already done that assignment, I mean, you know, it's pretty much like intern said this or social worker said this, client said that, and then you interpret, you know, maybe your initial reaction, like your gut reaction to when the client said something. So when she first said, like, I'm gonna need y'all to call us back. So she said it, and my gut reaction is like she didn't want to talk. But then, like, you also have to analyze past your gut reaction at what really could have been happening. And I was just like, she's busy and couldn't handle the phone call. She was in the doctor's office. And so, you know, you do that for like the whole rest of the document. And that went really good. All right, guys, my phone was ringing. So anyway, yeah, like we did that. She was so nice. Her daughter, like I said, wasn't feeling well. She had an ear infection, but like she is thriving in school. Mom is very hands-on. And like I said, it kind of felt natural because it was just talking. So it wasn't really like, you know, too hard. But anyway, so I like that. And then we had another call like right after that. Maybe it was like a 30-40 minute window. And then we jumped like right into another call. And so that particular family was new to Head Start. So they had not set goals or, you know, anything like the previous family had because they started the year before. So everything was like from scratch. So I got a chance to kind of listen in as the social worker went over, you know, just like the assessment basically, like, do you feel safe in the home? You know, are there any needs that you need help meeting? You know, that kind of stuff. So that conversation wasn't very long. That mom was able to, you know, set goals, which was something small, like she wanted to look for a job, like, and she said she had already started the process and found out, you know, that I guess she was having her baby early, but baby is fine, and it's a couple months down the line now because obviously the kid has been in Head Start since August. So she just said that she's going to pick back up on that goal and try to have a job by the next home visit, which is supposed to be in December. And so the way we wrote it up is just that she's going to look for employment. I mean, you know, because you want to encourage people at where they are. Because in December, if we say, oh, dang, you didn't get the job, you didn't get a job by now, like that might make her feel bad. But it's just about encouragement. Like, oh, that's awesome that you, with a new baby, were even able to go and fill out 4 applications or whatever that looks like. So, you know, strength-based approach or whatever. So that was an easy phone call. And then the last call of the day, I actually took from home because it was almost like near the end of my shift. So I just kind of like, I was told that it was okay to go home and do a Zoom call because the first 2 were just, you know, on the phone. The third one was Zoom. So I'm sitting here like I'm talking to you with my little, you don't know, it kind of looks like a little professional background. So anyway, yeah, that one, the child has been experiencing behavioral issues in the class. And so, like, the teachers with Head Start, they have their own, like, Zoom meetings and stuff with the families. And so, the social worker was telling me, like, I don't wonder how she's going to be on this call, just because she's had a couple of calls from us this week. And, she kind of was gearing me up for that, because she's like, some of these parents, they're not interested. They just want the service of childcare, not really realizing all that kind of goes into receiving a Head Start benefit, and all the phone calls or home visits or documents, all of that, because regular daycare they don't do all of that, but this is not daycare. So anyway, so I was anticipating a little bit of a pushback or maybe an attitude, but surprisingly, like, she was very nice as well. She we didn't even address, like, the behavioral issue, because the social worker told me that's not our department, even though we can see that that's documented there, and that there are some challenges and some things that they need to discuss and plans that they need to put in place with mom that will be outside the scope of our role at this agency. So we just stayed with the home visit assessment, helped her with setting goals. And I believe hers was something maybe to the effect of, like, it could have been something similar, like finding a job, or looking for another job or something like that. Like, it wasn't very different from the second person that we talked to. So her call actually wrapped up pretty quick. It was like, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. She didn't, like, have, like, she didn't shoot the breeze. Like, she was just answering questions. Do you feel, safe in your environment? Yes. Can you provide for your family? Yes. Do you have needs you need to make? No. Like, it was no extra, no, we're good. Like, it was none of that, which was fine. So we got off that call. And that was my day. So it was pretty busy. Even though the calls were kind of spaced out, it took up my day. And I was completely happy with how that went. And so after all of that, I was able to finalize my like the process recording, or whatever it's called. Like, I was able to finish that paper, kind of go over that with a fine-tooth comb, and then you have to submit it to your supervisor for your supervisor to add feedback. So, like, I guess, like, wherever I might have made a note about the client or something that I said, I could get feedback like, well, you could have said this, or that was actually right on target for this type of response or whatever. So I'm interested to see what the feedback is there. And then today, we didn't have to go in the office, myself or the other intern, because we shadowed another family service worker who did the same thing. Now, unfortunately for me, we had 3 scheduled and only one person answered the phone. And it was just very short and sweet. And the other 2, nobody answered. Like, nobody picked up. Like, we called on all the numbers, we text, like that kind of thing. And so we got off the phone, or the little meeting or whatever, the second time. The third time, while we were waiting, I just took the opportunity to kind of, like, pick her brain, just talk to her about the facility and talk to her about the organization and pros and cons and that kind of stuff, because it's very important. I think I might have said this to you guys a couple videos back, to not just look at, like, your position, your role as an intern, because I feel like everything is, like, cute and sweet when you're an intern. Like, you got, not a lot of work, or shorter days, or, everybody is extra nice, because they know you are not technically, like, staff. So they treat you like a guest, so to speak. But like, for real, like, once you really had a job, is it really going to be like that? Are your days going to be similar to that? What do the employees feel about the agency? That kind of thing. So I kind of picked her brain, like, not in a being nosy kind of way, but just more like a curious. If I was to apply, So how long have you been there? Because if a person tells you that they done been somewhere for 15 years, you kind of would have to take it as a grain of salt. If they say, oh, the organization is terrible, it can't be too terrible, you've been there for 15 years. So, you know, that kind of stuff, asking questions like that, clarifying questions. But anyway, so that was that. I got the opportunity. We talked for like 30 minutes while we waited on Mom to join. Mom never joined. And so we ended up getting off the call and I started doing laundry. And so by the time I came back out the basement, I had missed a text from her saying, oh, Mom said she overslept. She's able to hop in now. But I had missed that like 20 minutes prior. So I, you know, text her back like, I'm so sorry. Like my phone was on silent because of the meeting, which it was. I didn't want it to like vibrate or ring. And so I didn't hear from the basement. I'm like, I can hop on now. She's like, oh, that's okay. You know, it's over. So the meetings really don't last too long. But I did tell her if she had any more for next week for Tuesday and Thursday to like put me down because I love this type of interaction, this experience. I'm sorry that this vlog is going to be super short. But at least we get, you know, we got to do something different this week. I am looking forward to the next couple of weeks. Next Saturday, I will be going to an LSW prep class for that licensure. And I'm excited about that just because, you know, like I'm getting to the finish line and I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel as far as this BSW is concerned. Somewhere probably November, December, I'll start getting ready to ask for my recommendation letters. And I might even do that in November just so that I could beat the rush of people asking in December. So yeah, I don't know. We will see. Hopefully you guys like this video. I know it wasn't much to see here, but I didn't want to not upload and then I lose another subscriber. No, I was just playing. But anywho, comment down below. Tell me what's going on with you guys. I do talk back, you know. I do appreciate when you guys pop in and like or pop in and comment or whatever that looks like. I do appreciate it because it kind of lets me know like what I'm doing is not in vain and at least somebody is coming back and checking for the content. I mean, we've been at these 12 followers forever. I lost one and then thankfully somebody came back and took that spot or the same person came back. I don't know. But so we're at our 12. Hopefully in November, you know, we can get up to like 20 because November is my birthday month. So that would be a good birthday gift. So if you want to gift your girl, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe and comment down below. So I hope your week went well with field or, you know, school or at work, whatever you have to do. I have a good, you know, I had a good week and I'm about to hop on my real job and work for a little bit. And then I do have class tonight. As always, thank you guys for tuning in and I'll talk to you next week.